YB stays on your neck.
Yo, my dons, make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and obviously hit the bell for notifications. So as you can see on your screen now, Amir, Queen Khan, has given Anthony a la Cash Cow Joshua some advice regarding his training team. So let's take it from the top. The title reads, Anthony the Cash Cow Joshua must ask long-time trainer Rob McCracken to have any hope of winning his world titles back. Queen Khan goes on to say, Joshua should change his team. I've got nothing against his coach, McCracken. He might be an amazing coach, but having a new voice in the corner, having a new game plan, it definitely changes it up. Sometimes you have to do that. I did that. Look at when I lost my first fight to Breedis Prescott. I went to Freddie Roach. Then I lost to Danny Garcia. I went to Virgil. I've had big changes in my career, but it's been brilliant, and I've enjoyed it, every bit of it. Wow. Listen, you know me, the YB. I'm the first man to say AJ should at least bring in a co-trainer. Damn, bring back Tony Sims. AJ looked like a completely different fighter under Tony Sims. AJ was aggressive. He knew the fighter he was. Yeah? Rob McCracken is trying to train AJ. AJ's a lion. He's trying to turn AJ into an antelope. Tyson Fury is an antelope. A dude who runs around begging to keep his life. AJ's the lion. He goes and takes lives. AJ in that fight against Ruiz was an antelope, running around being scared and being apprehensive. And we've seen it time and time again. Listen, let's get it straight. Look at AJ's last few fights. Joseph Parker to Cam Neville. I didn't really see it for a while, I've got to be honest. This last fight against Ruiz was the culmination, but the signs have been there. Maybe I've been naive, maybe I've been blind to it, but looking back, the signs were there. Every fight, the Joseph Parker fight, he wasn't as aggressive. The Takam fight, he wasn't as aggressive. What's the reasoning for that? In my opinion, it's a lack of direction from the trainer. And to be fair to McCracken, AJ himself has been has been advising McCracken on what he wants to do in training. AJ's been going to McCracken and saying, I want you to train me to be more like this, to be more of a boxer. And I understand McCracken's in between a rock and a hard place, but that's why a great trainer would tell AJ, listen AJ, I am the trainer here. I'm the one who will give you direction. I will tell you what you want to be and what you will or won't be. Otherwise, you can find a 2-bit trainer who will do, if you think you know better, what am I doing here? What's the point of me being here? That's what a good trainer would do. A good trainer wouldn't do, oh, you know what, AJ, since you want to do that, let's do that. No. But he hasn't. Instead, he's encouraged Anthony Joshua's naivety. He's encouraged his lack of knowledge. And actually, look at AJ. Did AJ have any psychological problems early in his career? No. But now we start hearing stories of, oh, he's bringing people in and whatnot. I think that's the reason. Because he's a confused guy. He doesn't know what he is. He's confused. He's thinking to himself, why am I feeling like this? Why am I feeling like I'm being hunted? That's because in training, you're being trained to fanny around rather than improving AJ's skills he had. He's an athletic specimen. Thick legs, explosive. They should be working on his combinations. He should have more combinations. Instead, he's got 2 punches and he's gassed. He should have more combinations. He should be faster. He should be more powerful. Not he should be able to run backwards more. When has he ever done that? His 1-2 should be better. He's stepping in with the 1-2 should be better. Instead, it's just all over the place. All over the place. His guard should be tighter. Instead, it's not. He should be. What I'm trying to say is, AJ under Tony Sims. Yes, he had holes. Yes, he wasn't perfect, but the foundations to an extent were laid. The genetic code of AJ as a fighter was there. It needed to be honed in that direction. Not, oh, what, you know what, AJ's been a come forward, like, come forward fighter who has a predisposition to fight on the inside, but you know what? I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to turn AJ into Tyson Fury 2.0. Where's the IQ in that? What great trainer would advise that? Essentially, yes, AJ isn't a pure Mike Tyson, but he's along them lines. He's a hybrid between Tyson and Lennox Lewis, in my opinion. Therefore, you never saw any trainer who trained Mike Tyson. All of them. Mike Tyson had many trainers. You never saw one of them taking Mike and say, you know what, Mike, let's work on your back foot game. And I understand AJ, yes, he should work on his back foot game, but in terms of a split, AJ should be a 90-10 front foot fighter. Mike Tyson was 100% front foot fighter. He had no use to being on the back foot, no use at all. He was never going to out back foot someone. Yes, AJ should have a little bit of that skill, but he doesn't need it. On the up and up, when did he need it? I love using the Klitschko fight. Watch the Klitschko fight back if you don't believe me. The first 4 rounds, AJ tried to Tyson Fury Klitschko. And to be fair, he wasn't doing bad at that, but it was a draw. It was 50-50. AJ only started pulling away from Klitschko when he started closing the range and getting on top of him and opening Klitschko up. And I think he needs to do that because what do we know? What do we know about Anthony Joshua? What have I always said? What have I always said about AJ beating the people like Wilder, Fury and whatnot? You never hear me talking about, oh yeah, I think AJ can out-jab Fury, or I think AJ can out-1-2 Wilder. You've never heard me say that. I've always said, the reason I think AJ can beat Wilder in particular is because I believe Wilder has no inside game, and I believe if AJ can avoid or defend the right hand with a tight guard, get on the inside and stick it on him, he will open Wilder up like a thin, skinny-legged can of beans. That's what I've always said. Same with Fury. I don't think AJ can out-jab Fury too tall, too long. I think what AJ can do is throw a fast, stinging 1-2 into Fury's face. This is what game plan I'd have for Fury versus AJ. AJ, chin on your chest. Throw that 1-2 and step into it as you throw it. 2 of them. 1-2, 1-2. By then, Fury's on the ropes. At that point, open him up. Mike Tyson style. That's the game plan I'd have for him. Maybe a 1-2 slip as well. 1-2 slip, and as you're stepping, when you're slipping, Mike Tyson, when you see Mike Tyson slip to the left, slip to the right, he'd step as well. He'd gain ground. He'd bamboozle his opponents. That's what AJ could be doing. Throw the 1-2, slip, and you're on the inside with him then. On the inside against the ropes. You pushed him back against the ropes. Intuitively, when a fighter steps forward, especially when if AJ was stepping forward like Mike Tyson, meaning if AJ was stepping forward and moving his head, it's a very intimidating thing, you know. When someone steps forward towards you and they're moving their head, it's an intimidating sight because you can't hit. You can see them coming towards you, but you can't really stop them because normally, what do you know? When someone's coming forward, what do you normally do to stop someone coming forward? You throw your hands at them. But if their head's moving, you ain't hitting squat. And many times you'll see highlight reel footage of Mike Tyson stepping forward, slipping, and his opponents are literally hitting thin air, and he's on top of them then. They're against the ropes. Before they knew it, they were against the ropes. You push them back. So AJ should be using some smart head movement, stepping as he moves his head, to push people like Fury and Wilder back to the ropes, and then open them up. These are the elements he should be like honing. And we're not seeing that. We're not seeing a development in AJ's offensive ability. If anything, he's going backwards. For example, offensive fighting 101. Mike Tyson's IQ, his offensive ability was great because he was able to see little things in fighters. He knew when a fighter was ready to go. He knew when he hit a fighter with a good shot, and he could see the body signs. Mike Tyson would talk about how he'd know when a fighter was ready to go. He'd see the signs. He'd see the chink. He'd see the change in their mannerisms. So AJ still hasn't learnt that, because when he put Ruiz down, you can call me a liar, but whatever, I distinctively remember in my head when AJ put Ruiz down, I literally said to myself, I hope AJ don't just go running in now, because I could see from over the TV that Ruiz wasn't ready. He wasn't ready to go yet. He was too sturdy at that point. AJ needed to continue breaking him down. Instead, what does AJ do? He steps in, he gets something a 1-2 off, And then he's got his hands down and he's just throwing winging big shots and he gets caught. Sloppiness. That there is not IQ. And I think that's happened because AJ looked like a fight. When he dropped Ruiz, he looked like a fighter who was shocked that Ruiz went down there. He just almost like he got lucky, as if like fighters who are working, fighters who are sharpening their blades and they're working their offensive ability. They know what shots have hurt someone. They know when they hit someone and they've hit them right. It's almost as if AJ hasn't been working on his offensive ability and he doesn't know what shots do what anymore. That's why he was so shocked and so excited to get in there. It's like it was all new to him, like he's never put someone down before. Does that make sense? Mike Tyson put so many people down in sparring and otherwise. He knew that. He knew what a dead fighter looked like. He knew what prey looked like. AJ didn't have that, and I feel it's because that he's lost that, and it all adds up to me now. The fact AJ's bringing psychologists in, it's all adding up. It's like they're trying to change this lion into a damn guinea pig. That's what it feels like. Let the lion be a lion. If he gets caught, he gets caught. That's the way it goes, man. That's the way it goes. And look at Mike Tyson. Yes, he lost fights, but he never got. He was the most aggressive come forward fighter. People think, oh you don't want to do that. That's risky. Oh yeah, you get knocked out doing that. How many times, in fact, ever? When did Mike Tyson get knocked out clean? I think probably maybe the Buster Douglas fight you could argue, but even then he wasn't out clean. My point is, when you train offensive skills, i.e. a tight guard with your elbows in and your hands up, it's hard to get knocked out clean. It really is. That's the bottom line. It's hard. When you've got a world class tight defense, it's hard to get knocked out clean. So my point is, that's what they should be doing. Working on a tight orthodox guard and offense, Mike Tyson style, tight. That you ain't gonna get knocked out anyway if you got that kind of defensive awareness that AJ hasn't got yet. By the way, it's like I'm not sure what they're doing. They're training him for this so-called defensive Fury style, but they haven't even got that. They haven't even got that. It's like, what are you doing all this time? What have you been doing for 8 years? He looks the same as he did 8 years ago against Mihai Nistor in the amateurs. But anyway, I've gone on a rant there. Sorry, my nose is blocked from this damn hay fever. I forgot to put my spray, but that's why my voice sounds croaky. But what was I going to say? Yeah, so that's my opinion on AJ anyway. But Amir Khan, he don't. Whilst I'll take anyone giving AJ this advice because I believe it's the right advice, I'll take it. But to Tony Sims or anyone, bring someone in, man. Anything will do. And actually, I've been thinking on this note. Let me bring it up now. I've been thinking who would be a great addition to AJ's camp. I've been thinking that for a while. Who would it be? And I think Robert Garcia wouldn't be a bad shot. I know it's a Mexican gym, but still, I think I've named 2 people now actually. Robert Garcia wouldn't be a bad shout. Mikey Garcia is very technically sound. He knows how to defend himself. AJ doesn't. That's the facts of it. He doesn't. He doesn't know how to keep himself safe in the ring when he's hurt and whatnot. His elbows are fled. You never see AJ like tight with a tight guard, elbows in and chin down. You don't see him like that. You see him with his chin in the air and he's swinging like a big tree because he's not got that tight defense. That's the facts of it. He has not, and that there comes back to foundations that haven't been built properly. And yes, it's got him far, and people can say I'm a hater or criticism. I want the best for AJ. I really do, and I really hope I'm proved wrong, because I'll be honest, if I'm proved wrong and he looks like a great fighter, an improved fighter, I'll put my hands in the air and say I apologise. No problem doing it at all. But until then, I'm going to put my opinion out there. But as I was saying, I think Canelo, the way Canelo fights would be great for AJ. Look at how Canelo fought against Golovkin the second time. Great. Aggressive. He backed up the bad man. And bearing in mind as well, Canelo's a smaller guy compared to Golovkin. That day, his team did a great job on that one. 100%. Did a great damn job. And Canelo's skills, he's got just the right. He's pretty flat-footed, but he knows how his shots are stinging. He's got stinging shots. He knows how to walk forward. Strong, solid defense. Canelo is how I'd want AJ to fight, more or less. Seriously. Very good defense. I know they're not heavyweight, so it's a bit different, but still, very tight. perfect. But Robert Garcia wouldn't be a bad shout. I thought of a few more, but Freddie Roach. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't really like the idea of that, but I should have wrote the names down. But there's a few out there which could work. But let's see. You know what? Even oh yeah, that was it. Even Javonta Davis's trainer. I don't think that would be a bad idea, if I'm honest. Javonta Davis, he's got devastating offense and he's pretty slick as well. I mean, all of these guys ain't bad ideas, and even keeping it in the UK, I'd go back to Tony Sims over McCracken. I really would. Why has Tony Sims been dropped out of that team? I don't get it at all. But anyway, before I go, let me just say that whilst I think AJ should bring at least someone side by side McCracken or replace him, I got to admit that what Amir Khan says is full of rubbish. Amir Khan's gone the complete other way. Whilst hasn't had much trainer diversity. Yeah, Lennox Lewis talks about this. He had several coaches periodically at key times within his career, which came in and added something to his career. Yeah, AJ's had one trainer for about pretty much since the start of his career. Because AJ joined the GB team in like 2010 or whatever. He's been with the same guy ever since. You need some diversity. You need different ideas. That's a simple case of that. That's what we do know. Everything in life requires new ideas, new fresh ideas. Simple. And whilst that's the case, I do disagree with Amir Khan in as much as Amir Khan's moved around too much, man. He says that, oh yeah, these were great things for me. Was it? What has Virgil... I think Amir Khan's almost untrainable, to be fair. You don't really listen to anyone, but Amir Khan's a bad example. He's gone everywhere. Amir Khan's one of them guys who... he looks for the answer outside of himself. I think if there was a scale of things, AJ would be at one end, and AJ's loyalty and believing... AJ puts too much responsibility on himself. He takes too much self-responsibility. And it's almost, he goes too much the wrong way. Yeah? AJ blames everything on himself. Oh, it's me. I need to take responsibility. Which is good to an extent. But then on the other side of that, you've got people like Amir Khan, in my opinion, who blames everyone else. Oh, yeah, it's my coach. So, there's a happy medium in the middle. Someone who, yes, because Amir Khan don't take responsibility. He never. Oh, the ref did it. Oh, Virgil pulled me out. Oh, yeah, it was a low blow. He'd never come out and put his hands up. AJ, on the other hand, will always blame himself. In the middle's perfect. AJ's too much and Amir Khan's too much the other way. Needs to be someone in the middle who can see both sides. But anyway, let's see what happens from here. I don't know, man. Let's just see how this November goes. I really am. I'm really hoping I'm wrong. I truly hope I'll be in November, December when the fight happens. I'll be so happy to see a great looking AJ. I've said this before, but I'm not even bothered if he loses. I'm really not. If he loses, I'm happy with that. As long as I see a particular type of AJ, like I know I keep bringing that up, but the Dillian Whyte versus AJ, that kind of guy in there who's enjoying his work. Who's getting like Ruiz? I don't believe Ruiz hits any harder than Dillian Whyte. I really don't. And AJ was laughing at them shots. He was menacing, marching forward, no regard, rightly or wrongly, no regard, enjoying his work. Mike Tyson used to say it. There's nothing more dangerous than a fighter that's enjoying his work. There's nothing more dangerous than a happy fighter. I feel like that's missing a bit, and it could be because of the belts. But anyway, I'm going to talk about it another day. Let me know your thoughts. And your boy will be back